take them anywhere. All right, good evening. I'm Andy.
And I'm Evan.
And together we're the
Deplorable General.
We come to you every week. We bring you tactical tips, gun and gear reviews, some political commentary. We've talked about all kinds of stuff, man, since we've started this thing. We've talked about situational awareness, the history of the firearm.
FN.
Yeah.
I mean, let's give a quick shout out to FN. Those guys were awesome. They sent us some new gear. We're wearing 2 new hats. I got a lanyard with my keys on it. But yeah,
Sure.
those guys are just bad. I mean, those guys are just awesome with us.
So it brings up a good point. We're going to try to do it every other week, that if we get on Facebook, if we get a like, comment, share on the Tactful Tactical Facebook page. And I'm sharing this video from Tactful Tactical onto other pages, so that's fine too. But so if you like it, comment on it, share it, you get entered into a drawing to win either a shirt. Evan, you want to stand up real quick so
Sure.
they can see that? So be a warrior among warriors. Run FN, okay? Pretty cool shirt. If we don't have the shirt in your size, we're going to get you a hat, okay? So the hats are nice too. I mean, I tell you what, one of the things I love about these hats are most people that are out there, they know Glock. Most people even know SIG. They know Ruger, but not a whole lot of people know FN, except people in the gun community. So if you're trying to be a gray man, we'll call it, basically the concept of being a gray man means that you blend in, you don't stand out. So if you are walking around in public with camo pants and a Gatson shirt, nothing wrong with it. I do it too, but it's not gray man. You're going to stand out. Basically, somebody at some point is going to pick you out of a crowd, and they're going to notice you, and you're going to draw attention to yourself. Where these hats, you're able to support a gun company, a good gun company with good quality firearms.
I carry one,
and you're able to do it almost indescriptly. So
oh yeah, because nobody really knows what it is.
Right. The logo is not something where
I've had 2 comments on my hat.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2.
So that's what I like about it. I wear it all the time.
I do too.
And it's kind of dressy. I mean, it's it's an embroidered logo. I really like it. So again, like, comment, share on Facebook, and we will pick at random a person who liked, commented, and shared. And we will contact you through Facebook Messenger. Yep. And we'll get a shirt, or if we don't have a shirt in your size, we'll get a hat out to you.
Yep. We'll get you some swag. Don't worry about it.
A decal. Yeah, Robert, yours is coming. A car decal, lanyard. We'll load you up with a couple of things and shoot it out to you. So like, comment, share, guys. It really helps us here. We have about 3,000 local viewers, which is cool, which is awesome. But on YouTube, we're kind of struggling. Some of these YouTube channels out there, I mean,
they're up there, man.
Hundreds of thousands of people, and if we can get thousands, it's a good day. So, and I'm telling you, it's a really good day because only a couple of our videos have we gotten a couple thousand views. Yeah. So it really would help if you take this video, share it with as many of your friends, family, the groups that you belong to. It'll be a huge service to us. So if you appreciate what we do, we'd appreciate if you could help us out by doing that. So just to give you a little bit of real quick background about us. So I'm a military veteran.
I'm a security contractor.
So we both have been NRA certified instructors.
Yeah, and we are getting renewed, ladies and gentlemen.
So we've both gone through just a whole lot of training, and we've both given a whole lot of training. So we're pretty well versed in this stuff. And at the end of the day, we're also gun guys, and we like to shoot, and we like to do all things tactical.
Yep.
And we like to introduce people to the genre, because it's.
I never taken somebody to the range, even in security work when I was training other security officers. They never, they would buy guns within a couple of paychecks.
Yeah, so that's a good point. We do offer different training courses and stuff. We have a website, it's tactfultactical.com. It doesn't have it's still under construction, so don't be too critical. It doesn't have a whole lot of information on it yet. We're going to have some bios on it. We're going to have some class descriptions. But we do teach classes. Now, right now, it's pretty much on a one-on-one basis. So if you're interested in taking a class, you can reach out to us directly. So that's something that we could do. And again, the best place to reach us is on Tactful Tactical Facebook page.
Yep.
The other thing that we do, and we do it free of charge, I mean, assuming we don't have to drive too far away, is we'll go to the gun shop with you or to a gun show, and we will fondle weapons with you and kind of help you through the process of picking out which firearm is best for you. Because somebody who's not versed or experienced in the firearm industry, you have no clue where to start. There's hundreds of different options.
And not to interrupt him real quick, but one of the things I want to get to is that Tulsa liquor store shooting. Prime example of people not being adverse. It worked for them. They got away from that situation, but they didn't get away unscathed.
Right.
The woman got pistol whipped with her own gun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and she only had 5 shots, where the gun wasn't even on her.
Right.
And then her daughter had a gun similar to this Ruger LCP. Now, this Ruger right here would have been an ideal gun to have on her hip, but not underneath the counter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is not a beginner's gun. What I like about it is the fact that it is double action, but it's hammer fired double action. So you have a real stiff trigger pull. It's not bad,
Yep.
but it's very stiff, and then you have to reset it all the way up. Mm-hmm. It does not have a combat reset on the gun. In other words, that's the reset. It's like the old Beretta D model. Okay? This is not a gun that I would shoot, let's say, target practice. But as a carry gun, backup gun,
It's a good little pocket pistol.
it's a good little pocket pistol. And here's the thing, to fit my big old monkey hands, it even comes with a 15 round, you can get a 15 round mag that I can get all my big old fingers around.
I haven't seen those before. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's and like I said, it's a 380, and same caliber that the daughter used, but she had a thumb safety on the gun.
And she fumbled with
And
it.
she
right.
was fumbling with it because it's a Bursa. It's just like a Walther. You have to get that muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
And without it, like my FNX that I carry, it's got a frame mounted safety and decocker. So it's on the frame.
Sure. So that's I mean, again, there's a very practical reason why we offer the service of going out to these either gun shows, gun store, wherever, and trying to help you through the process of picking the right gun. Because you might, I mean, look, for the longest time, I've said that the way a gun feels in your hand is a huge part of the battle. And I still stick by that. I think if a gun doesn't feel good and natural to you, you're not going to be able to use it properly in a gunfight. It's that I think it's very important. Now, there are other factors that come into play. Caliber, the magazine capacity or the cylinder capacity. If you're going for a revolver, double or single action, a striker fired or hammer fired. So these are all things that are important to consider, and really, to quote the Nut and Fancy Project, the philosophy of use.
Yeah.
Philosophy of use means, like, what exactly are you using it for? And it's really important that you consider that when looking at some of these guns. And I tell you what, there are so many gun snobs out there. We're not them. There is value in the $150 high point, and there's value in the $1,200 HK. Look, at the end of the day, you wanna get
It's
the
what's in
best
your
that
price
you can
range.
afford. The best that you can afford.
Guys, let me tell you something. Ruger knocked it out of the park with the Security 9. Okay? The new Security 9, for the price, the reliability on that gun, for the money. Now, that would not be my first choice.
Right.
But for the money, you got it made.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a $299 gun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot better quality than an R18, than that P18 from Remington, that R9.
Yeah. So so keep that in mind, people. If you have any questions, reach out to us on
Tactful. We got other things to talk about, guys,
Yep.
but I just want to touch base on that liquor store because there's a couple other things I want to, real quick. That is one of those scenarios that all the midnight Rambos talk about. You know, I shoot this guy, he doesn't go down. The dude's in critical condition right now. So whether, he makes or not, we don't know. But, good for them for fighting. But guys, you cannot, that's where training goes.
Yeah. that's
That's where you have to shoot them guns. Just saying I know how to shoot a gun and you ain't shot a gun in a year, to me, you're not, that's dangerous. Because you don't know you don't know the firearm.
Yeah.
You got to have that muscle memory down to where I could pick up any gun and use it at that worst case scenario.
So tonight we've gone into this realm a lot lately, and I think rightfully so. I think it's necessary, but we've gone into the political commentary side of our show a lot lately. We would much rather be sitting here looking at a new gun. We would much rather be giving you a gear review. We would much rather be showing you a training video.
Yeah.
But look, guys, gals, we got some serious stuff that we need to talk about. We've talked about it a little bit before. We need to keep talking about it because things are getting worse and worse. And I tell you what, it's not.
It's coming, guys.
So there's a couple of things. So I had an article here where the House Democrats introduced a bill prohibiting the sale of semi-automatic weapons. There was a second bill that was introduced. So both of them have almost close to 200 supporters, all Democrat, 0 Republican. Take it for what it is. So these bills, they straight up just ban assault weapons.
Yep.
The sale of assault weapons.
Semi-automatics, across the board, guys.
Yep. And now these bills actually define, legally define what an assault weapon would be.
Yeah.
So, it's
and they've
talking
been
about
banned
your
since
ARs.
1986.
Well, and their definition of assault weapons is anything with a telescopic stock,
No.
anything that has a 30-round attachable magazine or more. Let's see. The legislation bans the sale, transfer, production, and importation of semi-automatic shotguns. So this is the thing. It's semi-automatic shotguns, semi-automatic rifles, anything with a pistol grip or detachable stock, ammunition devices that can hold more than 10 rounds. There's 205 specific firearms that are listed, including the AK-47 and the AR-15. Now, is there a chance in hell that this thing gets passed?
No.
No. There's not.
But you got to understand. No, I'm sorry. You got to understand something here, guys. This is the Barbara Boxer, the Feinsteins, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, the Bloombergs of the liberal side of the house. Okay, these are the people who want your guns, and they want them all. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm telling you, you guys can go on any YouTube channel. You know who we're talking about here.
Because they're, even though they are defining these weapons in this sort of this kind of bill that they're putting out there. Look, there's nothing that distinguishes say an AR-15 from a Mini 30.
The
right?
way this bill reads, I hate to say
an
this.
AK-47 or a mini 30.
I hate to say it. I would have to serialize my trigger finger.
Well, and so the thing the bill actually is specifically talking about the actual weapons. Now, what is more dangerous, I think, is what the ATF's trying to do. So the ATF is actually working on a rule that would hold the weight or carry the weight of a law, as most of their rules do. So, there's a lot of things that the ATF has come up with that they're not laws. Congress didn't vote on them. But if we got caught violating those rules, we'd be fined.
Go to jail.
And eventually, or most likely, go to jail. I mean, let's face it, that's the way it would play out. And we see this across government these days a lot lately with all kinds of different things where we have these agencies who are coming up with rules and regulations that circumvent the lawmaking process. So instead of the Congress creating a bill, it going through Congress, it getting approved or vetoed by the president and actually getting passed or shot down, instead of going through that process, they basically hire these agencies, these independent agencies, in this case the ATF, to enact a rule which carries the weight of a law, which means you go to jail.
Yep.
Okay, you can get fined, you can lose your house, you can lose your freedom, and there's no law. It's hey, look, like you're gonna
overreach.
You think about another area where we see this. And you might think I'm crazy for it, but is a tax code. There's not a single law in existence that says you have to pay income taxes. Not a single law.
No,
not a single law. But there's a tax code.
Wesley Snipes went to jail, or no? What did he do? He skipped the country for that, didn't he?
I don't remember.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes. That was a big old thing about that.
So the thing is, there's no law. So if you don't pay your taxes, I guarantee you're gonna end up in jail. You're gonna go to jail.
They got Al Capone.
I mean, look. So how do you go to jail when you didn't break a law? Okay, you broke the tax code. The IRS is an independent agency. They created a tax code.
A very powerful one.
And that code carries weight of law. Okay. It's unconstitutional. It's not right. It's a violation of our rights. But yet, how many Americans follow that tax code to the T? The majority of us do. The majority of us file our taxes every year, even though there's not a single law in the books that says that we have to. So look, this is the same thing with the ATF.
Yeah.
What they're saying is, let's put together. Okay, now what is it though? Okay, so it's great. Now we've told you that what it is just like Evan said. Any device that increases the rate of fire of a firearm is basically the way that we've just in our research and the things that we've watched and seen, anything that increases the rate of fire, whether it be a magazine, a trigger group, a bolt carrier group, the actual ramps, the feed ramps, it could be
a custom 1911.
I mean, you could even argue that the sights on a gun increase the rate of fire because it allows you to, have quicker target acquisition, right? So here's the thing. Like when Evan said his finger, your finger can effectively make a gun shoot faster or slower, and whether or not you train so per the verbiage of this thing that the ATF is putting together, technically, per the words. You could say that, hey, look, like now my finger has to be, that's it.
Serialized.
It's got to be serialized. I have to, file something with the ATF, and that's ultimately what would happen is then that you'd have to file
a tax stamp.
Basically, a tax stamp.
$200 for my finger.
Well, but for a magazine, and if you have 10 magazines. That's $2,000.
That's $2,000, yeah.
And here's the scary part. Here's the scariest part is
Does that mean I had to take 10 months to get it?
Probably.
Yeah.
For a long time. Probably. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the crazy part. From what I understand, from what I've read, there's no grandfather clause. So
in other words, if you get caught with a semi-automatic,
yep,
bump firing from your belt loop,
That's
I
it.
get the gun confiscated. I say, what is it, like 4 or 5 years in jail?
Probably, I would assume so. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what, on average, the rule of thumb for most firearm
6
laws
years.
is
6 years.
and the minimum for most is a mandatory of 5.
Yeah.
So, like Virginia, for instance, was if you got caught with an illegal gun, then it was 5 years for the gun, and then 5 years for each round.
There was a picture that my uncle sent me. A couple of weeks. I mean, it's been months now, but they actually caught a guy here in PA with a cut down MP38 full auto. He cut the barrel off of it. It was an illegal gun. It was stolen, full auto. And I told my uncle, I said, that right there, just with the stolen gun, if they enforce the law, that dude's got 18 years.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So it just goes to show you. I mean, look, this is serious. This is not just, this
No.
isn't conspiracy theory stuff anymore.
No.
And we got to continue to talk about this. We got to keep an eye on this stuff because, look, guys and gals, I mean, this stuff is coming down the line. And nobody would have ever thought that it would. With a Republican president, with a Republican
Nobody
Congress,
saw the school
with
shooting happen. Nobody saw Vegas gonna happen. We're still finding out little things about Vegas. Now the school shooting in Florida, our hearts and prayers go out to those families. Tom's weapon education, YouTuber, golly, that happened in his backyard, guys. So, look him up, send him some blessings, man, because his youngest daughter goes to that school. And that hits kind of close to home.
So it's understandable why there is such a response. But look, at the end of the day, though, I mean, you have two ways that you can respond to things. You can respond to things emotionally, or you can respond to things logically. Emotionally is based just off of that, how something makes you feel. Logically is based off of facts and reason. And look, really,
Guys, this is a paperweight without any ammo. Okay, I got a gun on my hip. It's fully loaded. It's my FNX 45. This is a paperweight. It's an inanimate object. Okay? It takes somebody behind the gun to make it a weapon. And let me tell you something. Guys, they're coming for them. It's up to us. I don't care. I don't look at the Second Amendment as a Democrat or Republican thing. I don't. I look at it as an American thing. Okay? It is our constitutional right to keep and bear arms and defend our families. Let's look at the Florida shooting for a second. Them cops had basically a stand down order in for assessment purposes, and that's what they're saying now.
right, yeah.
They're covering the sheriff's butt.
So basically, what that means is that the school had an agreement with the sheriff's department that they wouldn't report crime from that area in a
For tax money.
So that way the school would receive federal grant money because
You
it would be
got
a lesser crime area.
Yep.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You're fine. It's just the fact that, guys, I would have probably been fired if I was a cop in that situation, because I wouldn't have waited. I would have grabbed my AR right out of the car, charged right into it. I wouldn't have cared if it was outside, inside. I'm going to find this guy.
Yeah.
But there again, we don't have that mentality that much in law enforcement. Okay? All the good street cops that train me are retired. They're a bunch of bureaucratic boneheads running it.
Yeah.
You know, I come from old school. I had a retired DEA agent train me up. You know, you guys, it's a whole different ball game from what that was to what it is now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's
4 minutes.
it's crazy because there's so many pieces of these puzzles that it's easy to get lost in all these details. It's so easy to get lost, and again, it's mostly that's just our emotion clouding our logic, and when you look at what's being proposed logically. If they're looking to ban the talk that's going on is to ban semi-automatic weapons. Well, semi-automatic weapons is everything from AR-15s and AK-47s to some hunting rifles to handguns to some shotguns. Even a revolver technically functions as a semi-automatic. The semi-automatic means you pull the trigger and one bullet comes out of the barrel. Okay, that's semi-automatic. So that's why a revolver functions in the same way. A double-action revolver functions.
The only difference is every time I press that trigger, that slide comes back and resets the hammer. Now, guess what? In the 1800s, when we were talking about there's been the Foster Webley and the old Mumba. The Foster Webley was a 1902 revolver in .455 Webley that was actually a semi-automatic revolver. It was a break open revolver.
Mm-hmm.
You cock it. It was single action. You cock it. You fire, but it was just like a 1911. You cock it, bang, bang, bang. You got 6 rounds, and then you break it open. It would automatically eject the cartridges.
Yeah,
and it actually came with speed loaders from 1902. Now, the old Mumba, which is now the same kind of frame as the Chiappa Rhino, but the Mumba was the same way. It was a double action trigger. The hammer would automatically fall and give you a single action trigger for 6 rounds.
Yeah.
So you had 5 rounds that you just do,
Right.
just like, yeah. And it was pretty much an answer to a question never been asked. But guys, they were coming after those. They're coming after
anything
lever actions.
Yep.
And we all know Cimarron makes those old 1866 Winchester copies. Taylor and Son makes them too, and those things will hold 14 to 16 rounds of ammunition, 357, 45 long Colt, 44, 40.
So the point is, though, then that logically, if we trace things back and we look at what are they really trying to do, what they're really trying to do is take away our guns, guys. There's no other explanation for it. They're trying to take away our guns. So anyway, keep an eye on this, folks. As we get new stuff that comes across our desks, we're going to continuously research this for you. We're going to continuously bring this stuff to the table. And I long for the day where we're sitting here and we're talking about, some guns and gear reviews and having guests on and things like that. Hopefully, in the next couple weeks, we can bring you some of that stuff. But for now, keep an eye on this stuff. Stay vigilant, guys. I'm Andy.
And I'm Evan.
Deplorable General, over and out. Evan, you walk this desk about 2 feet forward.
I'm sorry.
Look how far up it is. That desk corner started up here.
How did I do that?
Yes, you did. You're like